Please note that today's meeting is being filmed for live and subsequent broadcast by way of the Council's internet site. The images and sound recorded may also be used for training purposes within the Council. As you will see from the agenda papers, generally the public seating areas are not filmed. However, by entering the meeting room and using the public seating area, you are consenting to being filmed and to the possible use of those images and sound recordings for webcasting and or for training purposes. As well as being broadcast live, a recording version will be available on the Council's website about 24 hours after the meeting. Would members please use their microphones to contribute to the meeting, and please remember not to get too close to the microphone and also to switch off their microphone when you are finished. I'll move now to item 1. I receive apologies from the following councillors: Councillor Baker, Westhead, Councillor Evans, Councillor Cleverly and Councillor Perkins. Any other apologies? No. We move on to declarations of interest. I will need to declare an interest on item 3. Are there any other declarations of interest? No, I'll move on. I haven't any announcements to make, so we'll move straight on to item 2. And that is the appointment of the Strategic Director of Social Services Leader to move the recommendation of the Appointment Subcommittee.
Thank you, Presiding Member. And I'd like to give my thanks to all of those elected members that participated in this recruitment process. Thank you very much, everyone, for giving your time to this really important process. So I'm pleased to recommend to you, colleagues, the appointment of Tanya Evans to the Strategic Director role for Social Services here in Newport. Tanya is an incredibly experienced practitioner. She leads across Gwent on a number of issues, and it's a real privilege to be able to present this to you all today. So thank you, Presiding Member.
Thank you, Leader. Is the proposed appointment seconded?
Presiding Member, I second the nomination.
Thank you, Councillor.
Appointment, sorry.
Are there any other comments? We will now proceed to vote. Would all councillors please cast their vote now, starting with all those in favour? Yeah, I can't see any against and no abstentions. That's unanimous. I move on now to comments from the Leader. Before we proceed with the rest of the agenda for this meeting, I would like to invite the Leader to say a few words.
Thank you, Presiding Member. Thank you for inviting me to speak. In 2019, when I had the honour and privilege to be elected to this role, in my first address to the Council as Leader, I promised that I would lead with passion, integrity and kindness. I also paid tribute to some key people who've been part of my personal, professional and political life, and whose support and wise counsel has shaped the leader that I am today. It seems only right, Presiding Member, that I acknowledge them once again as I stand down from this important and influential role. The late Councillor Ron Jones, a dear friend and mentor. We shared a passion for all things Newport, including the county, a fire in our bellies and a desire to do the best for our communities. The late David Taylor, the late former Chief Exec of Wales and West Housing Association and Newport City Homes Board member. His sharp intellect and attention to detail taught me a lot, but what stood out was his integrity. And Presiding Member, my own dear father, a kind and gentle, good-humoured man who taught me the value of kindness and the importance of not just what you do, but how you do it as well. Their support, encouragement and wisdom have carried me through some difficult and challenging times. In 2019, none of us could have known what lay ahead. When challenged in the extreme, we pulled together. At a time of great uncertainty and instability, we kept people safe, and we ensured that the most essential services continued to function. We did this, and we did it together. Officers, members, volunteers, communities, together we were strong. My thanks, Presiding Member, to everyone who played a part in keeping Newport safe. Now, what makes a place, what gives a place both character and strength, is its people. Here in Newport, our people are innovative, creative and resourceful. Our independent businesses, our cultural community, our community groups, our diversity and our resourcefulness is a real strength. Only recently, Presiding Member, I attended a participatory budgeting event where groups came together to bid for project funding to support initiatives designed to support people with dementia and help us to fulfil our commitment to becoming a dementia-friendly city. It was inspirational. And during my time as leader, Presiding Member, partnership working has underpinned so many of our achievements. The Marmot principles that we adopted across the public sector will deliver better outcomes and a better quality of life across the Gwent region. Working with Newport Now, business in the community, Cardiff Capital Region and the Western Gateway has consolidated Newport's position. And I have relished representing the authority, working together with our partners across the region, across Wales and the wider UK. We've made our mark in advanced manufacturing, in the technologies of tomorrow, and this has been recently recognised by government with the award of investment zone status. Now, Presiding Member, the wider local government family has played a role in this too. As Deputy Presiding Officer and WLGA spokesperson for social justice, I've championed equality and diversity in public life. This has given me an opportunity to lead on the diversity and democracy and civility in public life campaigns. It has been a privilege to champion diversity and an honour to become the first ever female Police and Crime Commissioner in Wales. Leading on the civility in public life campaign has been important to me both personally and politically. In recent years, Presiding Member, our citizens have been let down. The standards that they expect of public servants haven't always been maintained. We've seen this in our blue light services, and there are too many examples of this at all levels of governance politically. And whilst the significant majority of public servants are diligent and committed, the actions of a small number of people really do impact upon how the public view us. What have I learned from this, Presiding Member? I've learned that misogyny, bullying and racism sadly still do exist. It's incumbent on us all to drive this out. If you see this, if you observe this, and you do not call it out, then you are complicit with it. You are as much to blame as the perpetrator. A lesson to all of us in public life. So, Presiding Member, as I draw to a close, I'd like to give my most heartfelt thanks to all of our officers across the City Council for really helping us to take forward and deliver against our corporate plan, for going over and above what is required of them on a daily basis. I'd like to thank all our elected members for the work that they do in their wards, and particularly like to thank both my first Cabinet and my second Cabinet for the support that they've given me during my time as leader. So here in Newport, we're pioneers. We are leading the way. People may not realise this at this time, but history will certainly reveal this. So, from the first woman ever to become the Police and Crime Commissioner in Gwent, I'd like to give my congratulations to the First Leader of Newport, to come from black minority ethnic origin. Congratulations. Finally, presiding member, I'd like to put on record my thanks to my family, without whom I would not be here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Leader. Can I thank you on behalf of the Council for the work that you've done as Leader of this Council as well. Thank you very much indeed. I move on now to item 3. As I have already declared at the start of the meeting, I have an interest in this item as the current presiding member. Therefore, in accordance with the Constitution, I will leave the meeting for this item and will not take part in any discussion or decision on it. The monitoring officer will lead the proceedings for this agendaed item.
Can I therefore invite a nomination for the appointment of the presiding member, please?
Yes, may I nominate Councillor Paul Cochrane, please?
Is there a seconder for that, please? Councillor Druitt. Are there any further nominations? No. Are there any declarations of interest? No. We'll proceed with the vote then. Would all councillors please cast their vote now, starting with those in favour? Those against, please. Any abstentions? So that's 31 in favour, 8 against and 2 abstentions. So I can therefore confirm that Councillor Cochrane is appointed as the presiding member. I'd like to congratulate Councillor Cochrane and invite him to take over the chair for the remainder of the meeting.
Right. Well, can I thank Council for their support in that. Item 4 is the appointment of a Deputy Presiding Member. I would like to nominate Councillor Screen as the Deputy Presiding Member. Is there a seconder? Councillor Pat Druitt. Are there any further nominations? No. Right, there are no further nominations in the interest. There should not be a participation to the vote. We will now proceed to the vote with all councillors. Please cast their vote now, starting those in favour. Those against? Abstentions? $35 for, 1 against and 7 abstentions, so duly elected. Councillor Alan Screen as the Deputy Presiding Member. Right, we move on to item 5 now, the appointment of leader. Will someone move the appointment of leader of the council? Councillor Jane Mudd.
Thank you, Presiding Member. I'd like to move Councillor Petruni as Leader of the Council.
Thank you. Is there a seconder?
Happy to second that, Presiding Member.
Thank you very much. Are there any further nominations? Are there any declarations of interest before we vote? Right, we will now proceed to the vote. Would all councillors cast their votes now, starting with all those in favour? It's unanimous, I think. Yes, just one abstention on the screen. I don't know who it is. No, two abstentions.
Any abstentions in here?
There's no abstentions in here, I can't see. Got the numbers. I think it's been carried, but there is two abstentions. So I move the vote is carried. I'd like to move now then, when the Leader, Councillor Petroni, has made his speech, I invite contribution from members to speak on this as well. So, Councillor Petroni, and can I congratulate you on your appointment?
Thank you, Presiding Member. I'd like to thank the Council for their support in this, for my leadership. I want to start my speech with a thank you to Jane. She, I think, underplayed her years of leadership. She saw some tough times for this city. And people forget too often now, at the start of the pandemic, people were genuinely fearful of what it would do to our society. People were genuinely fearful what was going to happen to mortuaries and what was going to happen to hospitals. And leaders across Wales, including Councillor Mudd, were at the fore of that, along with the previous Deputy Leader, facing that down. And I feel it's too often dismissed, and she doesn't get the credit she deserves for facing that. That is never an easy task, and I'd like to thank her for that leadership and for being steadfast in that crisis. I've been elected, I believe, to the best job in Wales. The people of Newport, as Councillor Mudd outlined, are an incredible people. Forthright, no nonsense, tell you how it is. And I can't think of any way better, any better job to represent such people. The potential of the city is enormous, as Councillor Mudd outlined. And I hope to build upon the incredible work she has done over these years to build an incredible city where everyone can live, work and play. But the people have high expectations, and rightly so. Any administration, any leader has to strive to try and meet them. And I will strive to do my best for the people of Newport. And in that regard, I welcome strong opposition. I've been an opposition leader for 9 years. I know it's not an easy job. And I welcome the debates we're going to have in the coming years and your experience and wisdom that I do not have and your contributions. And thank you for your service to Newport as well. To Labour Group, an incredible, talented bunch of people, thank you ever so much for your support. I couldn't do it without you, and I won't be doing it without you, and all your words of wisdom over the coming years and months. The population of Newport is the fastest growing in Wales, according to the last census. 9.5%. Underage children under the age of 15, Wales as a whole saw 1.5% decrease. Newport saw an increase of 10.2%. We have the next generation of Wales growing in Newport, and they face a really uncertain future. AI, the economic crisis, the climate crisis, and we're going to have to face that all together. There will be tough decisions that people will disagree with, but on the big major topics, I hope we can come to a consensus, because it will need a strong, united voice to deliver for this city. Not an individual, not just me, not just one group, all of us as elected councillors and the citizens that live in this wonderful city. I want to pay special note to our voluntary sector and our businesses that do an incredible job, who are the social fabric of this city. Only together will we achieve anything in this city. I'm not foolish enough to believe it's all about me. It's all about us.
Thank you, Leader. Are there any comments from any member here? Councillor Chris Reeks.
Thank you, Presiding Member. I'd like to take this opportunity on behalf of myself and the group to wish Councillor Petruni good luck in his role as the Leader of the Council. Councillor Petruni and myself came into this Council at the same time in 2022. It's been good to see his enthusiasm and passion as a councillor, sharing some of the values and beliefs as myself, in as much as we both want the best for the residents of Newport. On other values and beliefs, I'm sure we may differ, but I've enjoyed our exchanges across the floor and in committees to date, and I look forward to many more as he settles into his new role. Can I also take this opportunity to wish Councillor Mudd, the outgoing leader, all the very best in her new role and her continued work as a councillor. Her dedication to Newport City Council has been unwavering, and she's always strived to achieve what she thought was best for the people of Newport. As the leader, she's worked hard to promote the city of Newport wherever she could, helping to carry the name far and wide for the betterment of us all. And for this, we say thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Reeks. Any other comments? Oh, right. I thought it was you who wanted to speak. No. Councillor Whitehead.
Thank you, Presiding Member. Obviously, firstly, goes without saying, wish Councillor Mudd all the best in a new and, I would imagine, a very challenging role. And also, Councillor Petruni, I have to say it, I'm always an honest person for my sins. If you read social media, and like particularly today, you have been somewhat handled a poison chalice, so to speak. It isn't going to be an easy ride. People are always the biggest judges, and it'd be quite savage. So I suggest from your start, I would not be reading social media, because it's not real life. But you have now got a challenging role. You're a smart young man, and obviously you're quite good with your oratory skills. And it goes without saying, I wish you all the best. I know this is going to be a challenge for you. We are in massively challenging times, particularly with the city centre, and like putting a rocket underneath it and getting us out of the doldrums. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Councillor Whitehead. Councillor Howells.
Thanks, Mr Presiding Member. On behalf of the Lisworry Independent Group, I'd like to congratulate Councillor Petruni on his appointment to Leader of the Council. We look forward to a constructive working relationship, as you've suggested, and we really hope the communication lines can be open to work together and listen to ideas and have constructive debate about how we do the best for the residents of Newport.
Right, thank you. I can't see any other... Oh, Councillor Pat Truitt.
Presiding Member, I want to thank Councillor Mudd for many years of service as Council Leader and for the changes she brought to the city, and I wish her every success in her new role. I also want to congratulate Councillor Petruni on being elected new leader of the Newport City Council. This achievement is a testament to Councillor Petruni's vision and commitment to community. And I look forward in hope to open guidance and the positive transformation that Councillor Petruni will bring to the city. Best wishes on this exciting journey ahead.
Thank you, Councillor Druitt. I can't see any other hand up, so we move on. Leader, do you wish to announce your cabinet, please?
Yes, thank you, Presiding Member. The Cabinet will be as follows. Councillor Deb Davis, Education and Early Years. Councillor Laura Lacey, Social Services. Councillor James Clark, Regeneration and Democratic Services. Councillor Saeed Adnan, Housing and Planning. Councillor Patrick Dewitt, Communities and Anti-Poverty. Councillor Emma Stow-Corton, Culture and Communities. Councillor Yvonne Forsey, Climate Change. Councillor Rian Howells, Assets and Infrastructure. And at this point, Presiding Member, I'd like to put my thanks on the record to Councillor Jason Hughes, Councillor Stephen Marshall and Councillor Deborah Harvey for their tireless work over the last 2 years in their cabinet roles. I would like to thank them, and I hope the Council will thank them for their work as well.
Thank you very much, Councillor Petroni. Councillor Reeks, do you wish to announce your shadow appointments as Deputy Leader of the Opposition Group?
Thank you, Presiding Member. Yes. Shadow Cabinet will be Councillor Matthew Evans for Economic Growth and Strategic Investment, Councillor David Fairweather, Education and Early Years, Councillor Chris Reeks, Community Wellbeing, Councillor William Routley, Strategic Planning, Regulation and Housing, Councillor Martin Kellaway, Social Services, Councillor Chris Reeks, Organisational Transformation, Councillor John Jones, Climate Change and Biodiversity, and Councillor Ray Mogford, Infrastructure and Assets. Thank you.
Councillor Morris, do you... Oh, Councillor Howell, sorry.
Thank Mr. President Member. We haven't nominated a shadow cabinet at this stage.
Okay, right. Okay, thank you very much indeed. The Leader of the Council now... Sorry, item 6, the Leader of the Council now, and the appointment of chairs of committees. So will the Leader of the Council move the appointments of the chairs of Planning and Licence Committee first, and then we will vote?
Yes, thank you, Presiding Member. Councillor Mark Spencer to Planning. Basically, it's no change. And Councillor Kate. Thomas. Just say Kate.
Are these proposed appointments seconded? Okay. Are there any declarations of interest before we vote? Okay. First, we will vote on the nomination of Councillor Spencer as Planning Committee Chair. Would all those councillors please cast their votes now, starting with all those in favour? That's unanimous. So, Councillor Spencer. We move on now to nomination now of Councillor Thomas as Licence Committee Chair. Would all councillors please cast their vote now, starting with all those in favour? Again, unanimous. Oh, yeah, it's unanimous. Right. Well done, Councillor Thomas. We now move to the chairs of scrutiny committees. The Leader of the Council will move the appointment to the chair of Overview and Scrutiny Management Committee. The Leader will move the appointment.
Thank you, Presiding Member. I move Councillor Hurain.
Is the proposer's appointment seconded? Thank you, Leader. Are there any further nominations? Are there any declarations of interest before we vote? Councillor Hurain. Would all councillors please cast their vote now, starting with those in favour? That's unanimous again. No, there's no one against. So, congratulations, Councillor Hurain, on that appointment. The Leader of the Council now to move the appointment of performance scrutiny partnerships. Leader, will you move the appointment?
Thank you, Presiding Member. Pleased to nominate Councillor John Reynolds.
Are there any further nominations? Are there any declarations of interest before we vote? Councillor Reynolds. Would all councillors please cast their votes now, starting with all those in favour? That's unanimous again, I think. Yeah, it's unanimous. Congratulations.
Oh, sorry, you got an abstention in there.
There's one abstention. Sorry, well, nearly there, but you're still scrutiny chair. Okay. The appointment is duly carried. Deputy Leader of the Opposition to move the appointment of Chair of Performance Scrutiny Committee, People.
Thank you, Presiding Member. I move Councillor David Fairweather to be the Chair of Performance Scrutiny Committee for People.
Is the proposed appointment seconded? Okay. Are there any declarations of interest before we vote? You've got to declare an interest. Declare an interest? Yeah, sorry, right, okay. Are there any further nominations? Right, would all councillors please cast their votes now, starting with all those in favour? 100% again. Are there any? Well, it haven't come up there. Abstention. Any abstentions? No. No. Okay. Congratulations on their appointment. Councillor Morris to move the appointment of the Chair of Performance Scrutiny Committee, Place and Corporate. Is there a seconder? Right, okay, thank you. Are there any further nominations? Are there any declarations of interest before we vote? Councillor Howells.
Presiding member, can I raise a point of order?
Yes.
Can somebody clarify whether this role was a shared role between us and the Lisweri Independents, as it has been in the past?
Well, I believe it was in the past. I don't know, but that's something that you will have to discuss with the other party, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, we did a 6 month, a yearly, and then we swap over. Can you confirm that, Alan? That still stands?
Taking aside my declaration of interest, I can help with that if you want me to, Mr. Presiding Member.
Yes, if it's helpful, yes, please.
Initially, the Lisweri Independent Group was a group of 3 councillors, and from last week, we're now a group of 4 councillors, so we no longer share that chair of the committee because we're a larger group. So therefore, we are the second largest opposition party and entitled to the place. So
they don't want you anymore, Kevin?
Hey, listen, like I say, at the end of the day, it's just a point of clarity. That is the case, that is the case. So be it. Life is life.
Okay.
Sorry, Jan.
All right. Thank you very much indeed. Right. The Deputy Leader of the Opposition to move the appointment of the Chair of the Democratic Services Committee. Sorry. Oh, I thought we...
Thank you, Presiding
Sorry,
Member.
Sorry, we can't vote on that. I got carried away with what Kevin was saying. Are there any other nominations besides Councillor Howells?
Sorry, we're back on the Chair of Performance Scrutiny Committee.
Yeah, I got wheelied with Councillor Whitehead raising that point of order. No other nominations. Can we move to the vote, please? All those in favour? Yeah. Okay, that's carried. Councillor Howells, you're appointed again for that position. The Deputy Leader of the Opposition to move the appointment of the Chair of the Democratic Services Committee.
Again. Thank you, Presiding Member. I move Councillor Will Routley to the Chair of Democratic Services Committee.
Is there a proposed appointment seconded?
Can I declare an interest, Presiding Member? Thank you.
Yep. Is the proposal seconded? Are there any further nominations? Any declarations of interest before we vote? Obviously, you've already just said that, Councillor Routley. Right, would all councillors please cast their vote now, starting with all those in favour? That's unanimous then. Congratulations, Councillor Routley. Appointments to committees. We will give the effect to the appointment of the political groups, the Leader of the Council.
Thank you, Presiding Member. The Leader will be passed to the proper officer and recorded in the minutes. This does not need a vote.
Deputy Leader of the Opposition, you may wish to announce appointments for your group.
Thank you, Presiding Member. The appointment of members to the committees will be passed to the proper officer and recorded in the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. I may assume that the leaders of the other groups will also pass the appointment of members to the committees to the appropriate officer for the recording in the minutes. Okay.
That's correct, Presiding Member.
Thank you. Item 8, The leaders of the various groups will pass the appointment of member to external bodies to the appropriate officer for the full recording in the minutes. So that's up to all the different groups. The appointments now, item 9. Councillor Druitt to announce the new head of adult services, Mafanwi Moran.
Presiding member, I wish to announce the appointment of Mafanwi Moran to this post. Thank you.
Is there a seconder? Oh, sorry, it's announcements. I thought Councillor Reeks wanted to say something about.
Yeah, if you want to invite
Councillor Reeks, do you want to say something, please?
Thank you, Presiding Member. I'd like to ask the Council for special dispensation for approval for Councillor Matthew Evans' continued absence beyond 6 months due to his ill health, and extend this for the purposes of Section 85 of the Local Government Act 1972. Thank you.
Is there a seconder, Leader?
I'm happy to second that, and I, on behalf of the entire Labour Group, wish Matthew all the best in his treatment and his recovery. Wish, with no disrespect to you, wish to see him back in his place as quick as possible.
I did also write to Matthew on behalf of the Council from the Council members and officers of speedy recovery as well. Right, are there any other comments on that? No? I think it's all been said, really, to be honest. We will now proceed to the vote. Would all councillors please cast their vote now, starting with all those in favour? That's unanimous. Right, that's been carried. We will now take a short break whilst the council chambers are prepared for the inauguration of the Mayor for the year 2024 to 2025. Thank you very much indeed. Good evening. Good evening. Deputy Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, councillors and guests, welcome to the Mayor making ceremony. Please be seated. Before we start the Mayor making, can I remind everybody that today's meeting is being filmed for broadcast by way of the Council's internet site, as noted on the front of today's agenda. I am pleased to announce that Councillor Ray Mogford was formally nominated as the Mayor of Newport for the municipal year 2024-2025 at the Council meeting on the 23rd of January 2024. His appointment was duly carried at that meeting, and therefore there is no requirement for any further ratification on that decision. We will now commence the Mayor making ceremony. Can I please ask the Mayor, Councillor Trevor Watkins and Councillor Ray Mogford to come to the front of the chair. I now invite the Deputy Leader of the Opposition to say a few words on the appointment of the Mayor and to move a vote of thanks for the retiring Mayor, Councillor Watkins. I also invite the outgoing Leader, Jane Mudd, to say a few words of thanks for the retiring Mayor.
Thank you, Presiding Member. Mr Mayor, Madam Mayoress, I'd like to thank you both on behalf of all colleagues here today, and both myself personally. I'd like to pay tribute to your service to the city over the past mayoral year. Councillor Watkins, you've been a great friend to me since I first became a councillor, and it's been an absolute pleasure to share these times with you. So thank you so much for your service. It's been an absolute delight to see you represent us as our first citizen at events such as our National Armed Forces Day, our Food Festival, and your dignity and grace and endless energy really is an example to us all. So thank you so much for your commitment to the City of Newport. Thank you.
I now invite the Leader to say a few words on the appointment of the Mayor.
Thank you, Presiding Member. Congratulations, Councillor Mogford. Hard act to follow, Councillor Watkins, who did a fantastic job with Catherine over the past year, but I know you and your lovely wife will do an amazing job over the coming year. Great charities, and I'm glad to know you're another technical geek like me, which was interesting, which we didn't know about each other, so I look forward to discussing with you all the technical issues around what we face going forward. So I appreciate that, and I know you do a great job.
Thank you, Leader. Deputy Leader.
Thank you. Friend and colleague, Councillor Mogford. The rest of your colleagues are delighted that you have been elected as Mayor. I've known you for several years now, and like all the colleagues around here, we can actually say that you're a man of integrity, honesty and good character, and these are the essential ingredients that you need to carry off the mayorship. We wish you all the very best. You're just starting now on a journey of discovery that will lead you to understand and become humble as you meet the voluntary sector, who are the very fabric of this city and hold society together. So I'd like to say, on behalf of all your colleagues here, it is a privilege to say, Councillor Mogford, you will always be known as the 392nd Mayor of the great city of Newport. Well done, Councillor Mogford. Well done.
I now invite the retiring Mayor, Councillor Watkins, to speak on his year of office.
Deputy Lord Lieutenant, High Sheriff, Leader of the Council, Presiding Member, honoured guests. First of all, I'd like to congratulate Councillor Mogford on being the 392nd Mayor of Newport. Fellow councillors, and obviously Councillor Mudd, that has now left or about to leave and go on to new pastures. This year has been a big chapter in my life, and I hope I've done it proud in regards to the city. Over 150 events plus that we've been to in this city, ranging from the ICC conference with something like 2,500 people, large charities like the Lions Club and various other small ones. But it would not be, how can I say, it would not be appropriate just to concentrate on one, because at the end of the day, we visited everybody that we possibly could, ranging from the large charities right down. The last event which we had was the choirs at St Willis, the Children's Day at St Willis Cathedral. The energy which I had and got over the last year was mainly from the mayoral committee charity which we worked with. They were there every time to organise the events and proceed to raise money on behalf of my two charities. The other people which were at the back of me were the council officers. Democratic Services member, Emily Major, the 3 chauffeurs, and Joanne Purcell, the military person. She tells you where to go, when to go, and when to do it. I admire her for that. You knew where you stood. The other 2 people I'd like to mention are my 2 ward councillors. They've taken up the banner to keep me informed, and I've been able to go when I can to the meetings. They've kept the ward alive and done some sterling work. I'd like to thank Councillor Pat Druitt for the deputy and the raising of funds on behalf of the 2 charities. The other 2 people are my daughter Catherine and my granddaughter Sophia. Mainly, Sophia has been the dog minder. But at the end of the day, we wouldn't have been able to do the events unless she was in place. Again, I'd like to thank all councillors here that supported me in and with the charities which I chose. And I haven't had the final figure, but it's in excess of £16,000. Presiding member, thank you. It's been a brilliant year, exciting year, and it's really opened my eyes to the charities and the voluntary sector within this city, and I salute them all. Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor. Will all those in favour of the vote of thanks to the outgoing Mayor please vote now? I only do as I'm told on the... It's a vote of thanks. It's a vote of thanks. I declare the motion carried. I'd the new Mayor come to the dais, please.
So the Mayor will now make his declaration of acceptance of office. Please repeat after me. I, Raymond John Mogford, having been elected to the office of Mayor for the City of Newport, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability. Mr Mayor? Not yet. Bit more to go.
Well,
Okay. So the Mayor will now take the oath of allegiance and then the official oath. So, Mr Mayor, if you please take the Bible in your right hand and repeat after me. I, Raymond John Mogford,
I, Raymond John Mogford,
do swear by Almighty God
do swear by Almighty God
that I will be faithful
that I will be faithful
and bear true allegiance
and bear true allegiance
to His Majesty King Charles III,
to His Majesty King Charles III,
his heirs and successors,
his heirs and successors,
according to law.
according to law.
Stay there. And now, Mr Mayor, the official oath. I, Raymond John Mogford,
I, Raymond John Mogford,
do swear by Almighty God
do swear by Almighty God
that I will well and truly serve
that I will well and truly serve
His Majesty King Charles III
His Majesty King Charles III
in the office of Mayor
in the office of Mayor
of the City of Newport.
of the City of Newport.
Diolch yn fawr. Congratulations, Mr Mayor.
I now invite the Mayor to announce his charities for the coming year. Councillor Mogford.
Thank you, Presiding Member. We did rehearse all this, by the way. It's a privilege and honour to be elected as the Mayor of Newport for this coming year. In this capacity, I am of course looking forward to and I'm geared up for a very busy year ahead. The two charities that I have chosen to support are the Severn Area Rescue Association, more commonly known as SARA. SARA is a multidisciplinary volunteer search and rescue organisation and is the designated rescue service for an area of over 20,000 square kilometres, covering the Severn and the surrounding area. My other charity is Sparkle. Sparkle ensures Gwent children and young people with disabilities and or development difficulties, along with their families, are fully supported and are able to participate in valued childhood experiences with access to the same range of opportunities, life experiences, activities and community services as any other child and their family. Thank you.
Mr Mayor, can I kick-start your charity?
Thank you very much, Presiding Member.
Right. I now call upon the retiring Mayoress and Mayoress to come to the front of the chair. The next item on the agenda is to appoint a Deputy Mayor. I call upon the Mayor to announce his Deputy Mayor, please.
Thank you, Presiding Member. My Deputy Mayor is Councillor Christopher Mark Reeves. Thank you.
I call upon the retiring Deputy Mayor, Councillor Pat Druitt, and the incoming Deputy Mayor, Councillor Chris Reeks, to come to the front of the chair.
Deputy Mayor will now make the declaration of acceptance of office. I, Christopher Mark Reeks, having been elected to the office of Deputy Mayor for the City of Newport, hereby declare that I take the said office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties thereof according to the best of my judgment and ability. Congratulations. Thank you.
I now call upon the Deputy Mayoress, Mrs Jane Reeks, to come to the front of the chair. That concludes the business for today's AGM and the mayoral summary. I declare the meeting